Coming up in this edition of Cogeco News, another local business pitching in the COVID-19 fight. Ontario tries to get their testing numbers up to snuff, and the latest draftee of the North Bay Battalion speaks. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to this Thursday edition of Cogeco News. I'm Greg Estabrooks. Indeed, local businesses continue to step up during this coronavirus pandemic. The latest company locally to offer their services for the fight against COVID-19 is Express Parcel on Seymour Street, and that's where we'll find our Clark Heipel.
Yes, Greg, over the past several weeks, we have seen local success stories of local businesses stepping up in the fight against the coronavirus. New Ontario Brewing is now producing hand sanitizer, while Leving's Canvas Company in West Ferris is manufacturing face shields and masks for frontline workers. Now another business has stepped up. Express Parcel off of Seymour Street is now offering to deliver products for free, products that will aid in the fight against the coronavirus.
It's a great thing that businesses are stepping up to what can produce PPE equipment to frontline workers. As ourselves, we don't produce anything, so this is our logical choice, is to offer free delivery for those people donating free items.
With offices in North Bay and Sudbury and a vehicle fleet of a dozen, the free delivery for PPE will stretch north to Timmins, south to Gravenhurst, east to Mattawa, and west to the Nickel City.
We deliver on a daily basis, mostly as an overnight area service into Sudbury, Huntsville, and the Timmins area. So our trucks are going down there right now on a daily basis. So this makes the trucks a little bit busier with free deliveries.
How are people able to take you up on this offer?
They can go online to expressparcel.ca. There's a form where they can just click on contact us, and they can fill out the form with their information and what they're donating.
Nipissing MPP and Economic Development and Trade Minister Vic Fedeli says it will be a tough couple of weeks for Ontario. Positive tests for the coronavirus are on the rise in Ontario, and so are provincial fatalities. Now, this province is lagging behind other Canadian provinces when it comes to testing numbers per capita. Via Skype, Fedeli tells us on this day that he knows that has to change.
Well, I think the Premier was very clear yesterday. He just said, look, this is not acceptable. We've got a capacity of 14,000 a day. I want to reach that number right away. And so we'll see today how the numbers went. And I know that it's just a top priority.
And to his credit, he's actually gaining some allies out there because of the way that the crisis has been handled.
Even the Washington Post did a story on him. So it's, he really is doing a remarkable job. I get that from people all day, every day, beginning of every phone call. I just got off with one of the counselors in Toronto, just got off a call, and he started the call with, I served with him before, and he made would have made a comment about their how they served together. And he said, but I have to tell you, he is leading the country, and in fact, leading North America right now by example.
All right, let's move on to some tougher questions in regards to economic numbers. Obviously, people are monitoring the jobless situation, and it's devastating, and it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. As a guy whose job is to create jobs and bring industry to North Bay and to Ontario, I mean, these are tough times, and it's going to be a long haul to get out of this.
Well, we saw this morning the job numbers come out. Canada lost more than 1 million jobs. We're 40% of the country, and no coincidence, we lost 400,000 jobs, 40%. So unemployment in Canada, 7.8%, unemployment in Ontario, 7.6%. We've got a lot of work to do. We have our plan that obviously it will depend on how we get our numbers down, the numbers of people who fall ill. So, the number was expected to be 80,000 by the end of April, with perhaps 1,600 people sadly dying from this outbreak. So we're hoping that those numbers flatten considerably. That'll tell us that the moves that we've made are working, and we can begin to ease up and look at putting people back to work.
But enforcement of social distancing, physical distancing, whatever you want to call it, I mean, it's almost draconian, but it has to happen, doesn't it?
It absolutely has to happen. Look, this is not a game. I've said this on Cogeco many times. This is not a drill. This is real life. People are going to die, and you can stop that. We don't have to know the end of the chapter already. We can turn that page. We can make this better.
And now for a federal update on the coronavirus situation. There is a pretty good chance that the federal legislature could be recalled next week to pass, legislation to discuss that and some funding that's gone out to Canadians. We are joined via Skype by Nipissing-Timiskaming MP Anthony Rota.
Yeah, from what we've seen so far, there's the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy that will cover up to 75% of wages for employers. The whole idea there is to keep your employees at their place of employment so that when things start picking up, you don't have to worry about hiring people and retraining them. They're already there and they're working. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit, there's something else that keeps people in their own small business and keeps them going. So no, I think down the road, what we're looking at, once things start picking up again, I don't think the government has any choice but to have more stimulus there to get things going again. A lot of the money that was announced, whether it was infrastructure or other, still remains on the table. It's just postponed. So that will help get things up and running.
Will there be a COVID-20? Will there be a COVID-21? Will there be some new virus that we're going to have to worry about a year from now? Because it's been more than 100 years since we've had this kind of impact from a virus. But going forward, you never know. And I mean, how do we prevent this from happening again to this extent?
I wish I had the answer to that. I mean, that's something that could happen and likely will happen in the future. There'll be other viruses. There was the Spanish flu that you're referring to in 1918, but we've had a number, including SARS, that came not that long ago. So we're going to see some of these things come back. The key is to be prepared when they do. And the sad part is they all have a little different in how they work and how they affect us. So you can never be 100% ready, but you certainly for any pandemic or anything that does come up, it's good to have the basics in place. The last one was 2002. When you look at the spread, we're talking 18 years ago. So, over 18 years, we're human. We tend to forget and get comfortable, and then it comes back.
I want to ask you about the government may be sitting next week. If they are, what kind of things are they going to be trying to pass legislatively?
Well, the opposition parties, along with the government, are trying to work out something that works. As Speaker, I've been getting a lot of correspondence back and forth, and what their concerns are. The main concern right now is just making sure that the new announcements that have been made for funding will be able to be put in. They have to get passed as legislation. Now, the government is working on some of the details, with the anticipation that everything will be passed. From what I've heard from the opposition parties, they seem to be in favor and understand that's going on. What we will be doing is meeting likely next week to pass this legislation.
More and more frontline workers at the North Bay Regional Health Centre are getting a much-deserved salute from different sectors of the business community in North Bay. Another salute took place on Wednesday night. This time it was Brown's Moving and MD Transport, another kind gesture from the two companies looking to share their love and appreciation for all the hard work being done by frontline staff at the healthcare facility, and they are working long hours to try to keep everybody safe and keep everybody as healthy as they possibly can. Breakdown has arrived here on Cogeco News. When we come back, a special online fundraiser taking place this weekend. Welcome back, everybody. The Easter long weekend will be full of music and comedy as 101.9 Rock and the North Bay Food Bank have teamed up for a fundraiser during this coronavirus pandemic. Quarantune begins on Friday night, and it's all online, encouraging donations to the North Bay Food Bank.
A lot of artists, bands have been getting creative with how they present their music now, and I've seen, the last little bit, bands presenting their music, playing shows at home and concerts from their living rooms, and I thought, we have a wealth of talent here in the North. Why not showcase that talent all weekend? It's Easter long weekend. A lot of people are disconnected. They can't be with their friends and family, and so why not have a whole weekend where we can see all of this great talent in one place?
Now, how is money going to be raised?
We're going to have a donate tab on all of the live feeds. So bands are going to be asked to go live from their Facebook pages, their artist pages. Every single one of those feeds is going to have a tab, a donate link to the food bank. We're also going to post that, and we're just going to have people plug it throughout the weekend and just tell people, inform people that there is a need. The food bank does need your donations. They're in desperate need of hampers right now, and just to not forget about the food bank this Easter long weekend.
And for you decided on the food bank. There's plenty of good causes in North Bay. Why the food bank this time around?
I know there was a call to Canadians, food banks, not just in North Bay, but right across Canada that needed our help. I spoke to Deb Marson at the food bank, and she said it was just one of the first ones that came to mind. I thought, with everyone kind of stocking up and looking after themselves, that the food bank might have gotten forgotten in all this, and I wanted to make sure that wasn't the case. And so I reached out to Deb, and she said that they could really use the donations, and I thought, what better thing to do, have a music festival for a cause. 28 bands and comedians that are going to be performing throughout the weekend, and it should be a lot of fun. You could tune in by heading to our Facebook page or the artist pages, but we're going to share all of the live feeds on our Facebook page, the 1019 Rock Facebook page, throughout the weekend, and it's just going to be hours and hours of entertainment.
It kicks off with act number 1, 6 p.m. on Good Friday. A bit of a change for this week's Pet of the Week ahead of the Easter long weekend. We wanted to see your pet, so we reached out on Facebook, and we were overwhelmed by the response. More than 100 pictures of your pets were sent in. Here's a look at some of them. Thank you, Clark. Of course, that's Tammy's dog. Believe me, it's Tammy's dog. Your TV viewer, Melanie Ann, spotted the Easter turkey on this Thursday morning. No, it's not Clark jogging, it's a wild turkey. I had to put that in. Getting some exercise on Jane Street. That is remarkable. Well, that is something else. All right, our COVID-19 info board before we go to break. For information on the virus from federal standpoint, Canada.ca COVID-19, Ontario.ca coronavirus, Telehealth Ontario, 1-866-797-0000, and myhealthunit.ca. Mr. Heipel will have a all-encompassing weather forecast for you right after this.
Weather is brought to you by Canadore College. Great things happen here.
The fairly quick ice and snow melt to be slowed down a little bit over the long weekend. Welcome back to Cogeco News. I'm Clark Heipel here next to Delaney Lake. I am here for your 5-day weather forecast brought to you by Canadore College. Also here to wish you a happy Easter. Tomorrow is Good Friday. No newscast for us here at Cogeco News. However, we will be having a special interview with North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Jim Chirico. That interview to be filmed in our studio on Friday, and it will be uploaded to our social media channels. Many questions to ask Dr. Chirico, including testing in our area. How many tests have been done? Is anybody getting refused for tests? Other questions include when it is a good idea to wear a face mask, and are homemade face masks effective? All those questions and more to be answered, and that interview to be uploaded on our social media outlets. Look for that Friday afternoon on our Your TV North Bay Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Well, it is time to take a look at your 5-day forecast as we have reached the Easter long weekend. The Easter Bunny is coming. However, you are urged not to visit extended family or friends. Limit your visits to your household members only, and there's always that option of video calls online. Here's the 5-day forecast. Heading overnight on this Thursday night, we have 2 to 4 centimeters of snow to look forward to, or not. A low of -4 and wind chill making it feel like -10. On Friday, the 10th of April, Good Friday, that wind chill continues in the morning and the precipitation tapers off, and the sun will be out in the afternoon, high +3, and a clear low of -9 on Friday night. That sets the table for a sunny Saturday, high +5, low -3 on Saturday of the long weekend. Easter Sunday now, 5 above for the high with chance of rain and a low of 3 below. And looking ahead to Easter Monday, the newscast returns live at 5, a warm high of 10 with rain, and a cooler low of -5 overnight on Monday night. Turning the page back to the almanac, on Wednesday we had a high of 5 and a low of 1. The normals are 7 above and 2 below for the normal high and low this time in April. Well, there you have it. There is your forecast brought to you by Canadore College. Happy Easter, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you back here on Monday, Easter Monday, for another edition of Cogeco News. We have reached quick break here, and Greg will have your sportscast right after this.
Sports is brought to you by Tag Construction for all your construction needs.
Welcome back, everybody. Brandon Cole of the North Bay Battalion, of course, finished 35th overall in North American rankings for the upcoming NHL draft, which was supposed to take place in June, but now the date is very much up in the air. The Toronto native finished the shortened year with 25 goals and 32 assists, a less than impressive -24, but he was +1 after the coaching change in December. So his play got better as the year went along. Now, Cole could go as high as the second round, although really he does have a first round skill set. And as Adam Dennis, the GM, said, the sky is the limit for this kid. It's all up to him. Meanwhile, Kevin Henstock is the latest #1 pick of the battalion, but his road to the Ontario Hockey League will be a little more challenging. Henstock went first overall in the U18 draft for players not picked in the regular draft in 2019. He was interviewed and is very excited as he was talked to on the OHL website last night.
Honestly, it doesn't really feel real yet, but yeah, I mean, it feels great. North Bay is a great spot. I'm definitely looking forward to going up to camp. I mean, it's an honor to go first overall. It's crazy that I'm in this situation here. Definitely felt good. And yeah, I'm just super happy, and I can't wait to see what happens next. After last year, the draft happened, and following the OHL and seeing everything play down, and especially with the year cut short, waiting for this draft, and yeah, it just felt great. Crazy that I'm the first overall pick in this draft, and yeah, it's an honor. I mean, I play a power game. I'm a big body, a playmaker. I love to shoot the puck and make plays. I love the offensive zone, as most forwards do. But yeah, I love the game. So I love creating plays and just, I don't know. I think hockey IQ and stuff like that goes into what makes me successful on the ice and stuff. Obviously, last year with the draft coming around and it ended up not going my way, it obviously gave me a bit of fuel to prove myself and give myself a bit of a name here. So this year I came back all fired up to prove myself, and yeah, I just wanted to prove myself and show that I can play hockey, and it felt good. It paid off. At the next level, everyone's skilled, everyone's good. So I think what I need to do to give myself a shot is just work hard, show them an unmatchable work ethic, and show that I can separate myself that way because everyone's good, everyone's fast, everyone can make plays.
Well, we'll see what happens in the fall if hockey returns on time in the fall. It's kind of strange saying that, but again, we don't know. We are not on the air tomorrow, as Mr. Heupel mentioned during the weather forecast. Just a reminder, we are, though, back live on Easter Monday. We want everyone to follow the rules in regards to physical and social distancing, which is the same thing, really. But enjoy the weekend as best as you can, and enjoy some chocolate and enjoy Easter, and stay safe, everybody. Again, we'll be back on the air in 3 days, 4 days technically, with a broadcast Monday live at 5. We'll see you then. Stay safe, enjoy Easter, and we'll see you again live on Cogeco News Monday at 5 p.m.